there, I'm Greet Bunnens and I'm the founder of two companies, HR5 and You Brand Builder. Ook welkom aan al mijn Nederlandse en Vlaamse vrienden et mes amis francophones. Je suis super contente de vous voir ici. So welcome to watching this video that really makes me extremely happy. Now, in one of my last videos, we talked about fear, and it was focused on when you are faced with an important decision and you are afraid to make that decision, what are the main questions that you have to ask yourself before making that decision? And you can find that in my other video. But today I would also like to talk about fear, and this time I would like to talk about the fear of being visible or becoming visible. Because as you know, or might know, I am an expert in personal branding, and I help interim managers, coaches, consultants and trainers stand out from the competition via personal branding in order to attract more clients and achieve business success. And that is great. Now, when I work with my clients or when I see potential clients, they often tell me, yeah, well, I'm not into personal branding. Yeah, I don't need a personal brand or something. And I wonder, why is that? And I have figured out that it has everything to do with being afraid of being visible. And so they come up with these lame excuses. And I would like to talk about 3 excuses that I hear so often, and I hope that when we talk about these excuses that maybe you will never ever have these excuses anymore. So in this video I would like to talk about the 3 main excuses that I hear with regards to personal branding, and then on the other hand I would like to talk about the 3 main areas that we are afraid of. Why are we afraid to be or become visible? So these are the things that I would like to discuss in this video. I hope you will enjoy it. So let's get going. The excuses, the main excuses of people telling me, well, personal branding, I'm not into personal branding, I'm not into being visible, and etc, etc. Well, the first excuse is, I don't need a personal brand. Well, you know what? You already have a personal brand. It's like what Jeff Bezos says, really. It's what people say about you when you are not in the room. So you already have a personal brand. And my question is then, don't you want to be a little bit more in control with what, when it comes to your personal brand? Don't you want to be a little bit more in the driver's seat? Because, as I've already mentioned, you already have a personal brand. Don't you want to be a little bit more in control of what people will say about you when you are not in the room? I don't think that you should use that as an excuse. I don't need a personal brand. You already have one. The second excuse is, well, I am not a bragger. And good for you. I'm not a bragger either. My clients are no braggers. I don't like braggers. Nobody likes braggers, really. So if you say that personal branding is being the same thing as being a bragger, that's crazy. That has nothing to do with it. Personal branding is about showing your added value to your clients, showing your added value to your potential clients, showing what you are worth. It's not about telling how great you are and about bragging or becoming a show-off or something. No, personal branding is really showing your target audience how you can help them solve their problems, what your service can do for them, what's the added value of your service to your potential clients. That is what personal branding is about. You build your reputation by communicating your added value to your potential clients and by showing how you can help them solve their problems. That is what personal branding is about, and that has nothing to do with being a bragger. It has nothing to do with being a show-off. So forget about that excuse. Personal branding is not about bragging. It's about being your authentic you, about showing your mastery, and about showing how you can help your target audience. So forget about that second excuse. And then the third excuse that I often hear is, yeah, well, it's all superficial. It's all superficial. Well, what I hear there, when they say, well, it's all superficial, that means that personal branding is not solid, it's not like there is something underneath, and that's not correct. It all starts with your mastery. What are you good at? What are the services you deliver? And you have to deliver a wonderful service, a spectacular service. That's the basics. I mean, over deliver and under promise. So you have to deliver a wonderful service. That's the basics of everything. And then on top of it, you have the branding side. Actually, one of my favorite mottos is, you can put lipstick on a pig, but it stays a pig. That's crazy, right? But what I mean by that is, you can have these designer clothes and everything, but if underneath there is nothing, then you don't have to bother about personal branding. It all starts with you, your authentic you, and delivering a very valuable service. And showing them, and actually, yeah, the branding is like the cherry on top of it, and showing that you are good at it is really important. I hear a lot of people thinking and saying, yeah, well, if you work very hard and you do your best all the time, then you will get noticed and then you will be successful. No, being good is not good enough. Working hard is not good enough. It's the basics, but it's not good enough. You have to show a little bit more, and personal branding is that little bit more. Actually, it's a little bit like the saying, the good girls go to heaven and the bad girls go everywhere. That doesn't mean that you all have to become bad girls, of course. If you are that hard-working girl and trying very hard and working late hours, etc., you are the one that goes to heaven, and that's good for you. But if you want to go everywhere, then you have to work on your personal brand. So and promise you, it's not at all superficial. There might be people who are superficial, but it's not the way I work, and it's not the way that I work with my clients. Okay, these were the 3 excuses. I don't need a brand, I'm not a bragger, and it's all superficial. I hope by now that I gave you some ideas that this is not the way I see personal branding, and it's hopefully by now the way that you don't see personal branding either. Now, I promised you that I wanted to talk about the 3 main excuses that I hear when it comes to personal branding and becoming more visible. Now, I also wanted to talk about fear. That's how I started our video here. And the fear of becoming visible. Why is that? Because well, actually, yeah, we were brought up that way by our parents. They always said, yeah, try to fit in, don't stand out, be nice, work hard, etc. It's how we were brought up. But actually, it goes back to the tribal days. In the tribal days, it was extremely life-threatening if you stood out. I mean, it was extremely dangerous if you were the one to stand out, because you might get eaten by some crazy animal or something. But hey guys, these aren't the tribal days anymore. So standing out is good. Standing out from the competition in a good, positive, solid way is good. So we need to focus on our personal brand, and let's get away from this fear and these crazy ideas what might happen when we stand out. Now, what are the 3 main things that people tell me, or they don't often tell me, but it's something that I see, is the 3 main reasons or the main things that people are afraid of when it comes to becoming more visible. Well, the first thing, and you must know that and you must recognize it, what will people say about me? If suddenly I show my work, if suddenly I'm a little bit more out there online, maybe at networking events, etc. So what will people say about me? Well, I've got something I wanted to tell you about that. Actually, there's 3 kinds of people. You've got the naysayers, the critics, you know, these people who hate you. Whatever you do, they will hate you and they hate everybody. So these are the people you shouldn't focus on. These are the negative people, the naysayers. They will hate you no matter what. Whether you build your personal brand or not, they will hate you. So let's not focus on these people. And then you've got the people who will love you no matter what. Your parents, your spouse, your children. Okay, sometimes you might have a row with them or an argument, but they love you no matter what. So if you suddenly go to these networking events, they won't hate you for that. If you make a little video like this, they won't hate you. They will love you no matter what. So as with regards to being afraid of what will people say about me, you shouldn't focus on these people too, either. And then we've got this mass, this group of people who are in between, not the naysayers, not the people who love you no matter what. So there's this big crowd of people, and you know what? They are not interested. They are not interested in you. People are interested in themselves. They will not go to sleep at night thinking, oh my God, what did she do? She went online, she made a video. They are not interested. And if they were, what the heck? I mean, what if they do not like you? It is possible that if you are a little bit more successful, and if you are really successful, then it is possible that you will have some people who don't love you anymore, or whatever. But these are so-called friends, and you shouldn't bother with them. So it's possible that you might have some enemies, but hey, that's not important. It's what Dr. Seuss says, the quote of Dr. Seuss, it's one of my favorites. He says, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who mind don't, and those who matter don't mind. Sorry, blooper. So I'm going to repeat that. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. So keep that in mind. What will people say about you? What the hell? It doesn't matter, because those people who really love you, they will not mind. They will love you no matter what. And the people who do mind, well, they are not interesting to you. You want to become successful, so let's focus on them. Let's focus on you, your business, and your clients. Okay, so that's the first one. What are you afraid of? The second thing that you are afraid of is, am I good enough? So the first one is, yeah, well, what will people think about me? And the second one is, am I good enough? It's the so-called imposter syndrome. I don't know whether you know the imposter syndrome. I looked it up on Wiki and I'm going to read it to you. The imposter syndrome refers to high-achieving individuals marked by an inability to internalize their accomplishments and persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud. Ooh, we are a fraud. Despite external evidence of their competence, those exhibiting the syndrome remain convinced that they are frauds and do not deserve the success they have achieved. Proof of success is dismissed as luck or timing, or as a result of deceiving others into thinking they are more intelligent and competent than they believe themselves to be. So you possibly know these people who say, yeah, I was lucky, or yeah, it was just the right timing. Those kinds of people, the people who think that, yeah, well, I was just lucky being successful or something. And then you have these people who think, well, I am not that good, and maybe I'm a little bit of fraud. I'm actually not that good. If you are one of these people, and trust me, I am one of these people too, and don't you think that we are so unique in that apparently 70% of the population has sometimes this imposter syndrome. Meryl Streep has it, Kate Winslet has it, even Einstein had it. So I mean, so it's good. We are surrounded with good people when we feel this imposter syndrome. But it really has to do with we feel that we we are not good enough maybe, or that we are faking it, fake it until you make it. And that's not a good thing. You shouldn't fake it until you make it. You should be good at what you do, and that's what we talked about earlier. Be good at what you do, deliver a wonderful service. That's the basics. Now I have some tips for you when you feel this ugly head of this imposter syndrome coming up. Then what I do, actually, I accept that fear. I know that sometimes I have this fear and I accept it, and I would suggest that you do that too. And the other thing is that you have to know that you have a role in your success. I mean, you are good at several things. You have certain competencies. You are good at what you do with your clients. So you have a role in your success. And something else is, you shouldn't compare yourself to others too much. It's nice to know that there's a competition, but we are all unique, and we are good at what we do, and we should focus on what we are good at and how we can help our clients achieve their success. You also have to know that there will be things that you don't know. There are things that you don't know. There are things that you will never know, and there are things that you can learn. So it's okay to be ignorant at times. It's okay that you don't know everything. Nobody can know everything. And besides, you should let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is a bad thing. So perfectionism, really, grow up. Perfection is really, I mean, I'm 42 now. By now, I shouldn't be a perfectionist, and you shouldn't either. So I hope this helps you a little bit about the imposter syndrome. I've written some blog posts about this imposter syndrome, etc. So have a look at my website, youbrandbuilder.be, in order to read a little bit more about the imposter syndrome. But actually, I hope that by now you know that you shouldn't be afraid of this imposter syndrome of am I good enough, etc. So have some self-confidence. Okay, I promised you to tell you the 3 things, or to talk about 3 things that people are afraid of when it comes to being more visible and when it comes to building their personal brand. Is first, what will people say about me? The second one is the imposter syndrome, am I good enough? And then the third one has everything to do with losing something. I might lose something when I brand myself. Losing something like the comfort of being unknown. It's kind of comfortable when nobody knows you. Or the peace and quiet of your phone and never ringing, your potential clients never ringing, calling you because they don't know you. So that might be something that you might lose too. I mean, the peace and quiet of your phone never ringing. And then you might also lose something like the so-called friends that suddenly hate you because you are more out there. But that's why it's these people are the so-called friends. I mean, yeah, you might lose certain things. But we should shift our perspective, really. Instead of focusing on the losing, we should focus on the gaining. What are the benefits when we build our personal brand, when we become more visible? Well, I can give you some benefits. First of all, you will stand out from the competition, and if you do it in a good way, and that's what I teach my people, my clients, is you should brand yourself in a good way so that you become noticed by a potential client. So that's a very good thing, that you stand out from the competition, that they know what you are good at and that you show your value, etc. So these are some benefits, standing out from the competition, getting noticed by your clients, achieving business success, attracting much more leads, attracting all these clients, etc., etc. So there's so many benefits really about personal branding. Let's focus on these instead of focusing on what you might lose and on all these terrible things that we think of and excuses that we have. Actually, you owe it to yourself and to your business and to your potential clients to be more visible, to get out there and to build your personal brand. You owe it to yourself, your business and your clients and your friends. So, are you ready? Are you ready to build your personal brand and to get out there? Well, go ahead. I wish you all the luck. And if you do need help with it, I'm here. I'm really looking forward to helping you. That would make me extremely happy. So if you want my help, just have a look at ubrandbuilder.be or contact me via another channel like my phone or something, and that's 32 for Belgium 478-390269. But you can find everything on ubrandbuilder.be. So I hope to talk to you soon. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and have a nice day. Bye bye.